Hi, I'm Allyson Jones, Early Literacy Manager for United Way for Southeastern Michigan. At home, I'm a mom, and I've seen the results, the rewarding results of reading to my son each and every day. I'm so excited that you're interested in volunteering in the hospital strategy with United Way. We are looking for energetic, tech-savvy, culturally competent women willing to commit to volunteering 1 day a week for 2 hours for a duration of 12 months. Let's learn with this short video a little bit about the hospital strategy.
So much to think about with a new baby. But how many are thinking about college from day one? A new project has new moms and dads in Metro Detroit making a big commitment to their child's education from day one.
Now you have no excuse.
Well, no excuse, because this new product or project aims to give parents the means and support needed to prepare their kids to graduate high school and to go on to college.
And we're thrilled that Local 4 is teaming up with NBC News for Education Nation. We'll be putting a spotlight on what's being done to educate our children. And tonight, Rhonda Walker explains what the United Way for Southeastern Michigan and the GM Foundation have teamed up to do in local hospitals.
A United Way volunteer is walking the halls of the maternity ward at Sinai Grace Hospital with a box like this each day. It's the startup kit for new parents to commit to reading to their new baby for 15 minutes every day.
We are providing you with a book a month until Madison is 5 years old.
Allyson Jones delivers an unexpected gift to new parents at Sinai Grace Hospital in Detroit. The book, Time for Bed, and a magnetic picture frame.
Remind you that she is in the graduating class of 2030.
Wow. But with this gift, Allyson is asking for something in return. Read to your new baby for 15 minutes every day.
Does that sound like something you can commit to?
I can do that.
Okay.
Lashana Vereen signs the contract and makes the commitment for her new daughter, Madison. So does Shawnita Wilson.
That is extremely important, especially for a city like this, where a lot of people may lack in other areas. Well, now you have no excuse.
These two moms are among 300 parents to commit since the United Way launched the project in the fall with the help of a $27 million donation from the General Motors Foundation.
We've got to make sure that we start from the day of a child's birth to really capture those first 3 years of promise where the brain develops in order to be successful when they come into high school.
If you read to her every day, research has shown that she will have a higher IQ, she'll have higher test scores.
I think I'm going to tell my husband, you do 15 minutes, I do 15 minutes, so it could be a half hour. For a place like this and for a program like United Way to offer this is phenomenal.
Shanita can't wait to read her new book to her daughter Madison. She started reading to her little girl while she was still in the womb. For these parents, it's about reading and creating memories with their child.
And that memory as they get older will help them be resilient. And that's been shown in research. Children that have a literacy-rich environment and nurturing relationships with their parents, they're more resilient when they get older.
So why Metro Detroit and why now?
By the age of 3, children born into poverty have heard 30 million less words than children born to the middle income.
This project hopes to lay out a strong foundation for every child's success, no matter what their family's income. And that's why 2 months after the moms and dads are home from the hospital, the United Way is checking in on them with a phone call.
Is there anything that's keeping you from reading to your kid? Meaning, if your lights aren't on, if you don't have enough food on the table, we want to connect you to the caring power of Southeastern Michigan.
This group of moms is taking advantage of a class at one of the United Way's 65 early learning communities around the city. Their children are in preschool in the room next door, both mom and child getting enrichment and building relationships.
What we're really doing here is an innovation, right? We had 10,000 parents take at least one course in an early learning community last year. And what we kept hearing from the parents is, I wish I had this information sooner, because they'd seen a difference in their younger kids than in their older kids because of what they've learned through the early learning communities.
Shanita loves the idea so much, she wants to volunteer to help sign up other parents once she's had a few months at home with Madison.
15 minutes a day could turn to 30 minutes a day, could turn to an hour of you pouring into one of the best things that you can have. My father literally read me bedtime stories or made up stories every single night, and to this day I can still remember those stories. Those are memories that will be embedded in your child, and every child and parent should have that.
By this July, the United Way for Southeastern Michigan plans to be in 2 more hospitals, signing up new parents. I'm Rhonda Walker. Back to you.
What a wonderful way to get started.
The books are just magic. We will have special coverage throughout the week. Opening ceremonies for Education Nation, 9 o'clock Friday morning at the Charles Wright Museum. Then the Detroit Summit begins at 9:45. At 12:30 here on Local 4, an Education Nation special called Job 1.
And on Saturday, Steve Garagiola and I will help host a student town hall featuring hundreds of Detroit area students. And you can watch that here at noon on Sunday. The teacher town hall can be seen Saturday night at 7.
The United Way for Southeastern Michigan Early Literacy Initiative pilot at Finite Grace Hospital. This is what our approach looks like. We provide high-need local families with a personal connection and the tools to support them in helping their child reach their full potential. The first step in our approach is to connect to families in the hospital at the child's birth, to start a daily reading habit, and encourage them to provide a nurturing and literacy-rich environment for their child. The next step in our approach is follow-up. A personal phone call from a volunteer to reinforce learning and ensure that the family's basic needs are being met. The next step is to create an interactive and reactive website for computer and smartphones that will track and support reading. The next step in our approach is to link families to parenting classes and partner resources ideal for them based on their location, needs, and interests. The last step in our approach is to provide a book a month to families through Imagination Library in return for a commitment for them to read to their child 15 minutes each day. The volunteer interaction with family includes an initial meeting that's 10 to 15 minutes. Volunteer records additional data and conversation points that can be referred to again in a follow-up call. 4 to 6 weeks later, the volunteer contacts the family again to check on their progress and connect them to further resources. The volunteer. As a volunteer, your role is vital in making this process a success. The first face they see representing the Early Literacy Initiative will frame the way people look at the program in general, the resources that they are invited to connect with, and most importantly, the relevance and importance of the habit you're introducing them to. Some attitudes to maintain as a volunteer include humility, being encouraging, eagerness, and kindness. Volunteer goals for each hospital family visit are both aspirational and practical. There's also a registration component. The aspirational piece includes connecting families to the dream of their child graduating from college one day. The practical is brainstorming together how to add reading into their new daily routine and identifying cues for that habit. Registration includes the pledge to read to their child every day, signing them up for contact, the website and application, and Imagination Library. Volunteer goals for each hospital family visit. Aspirational, practical, and registration. Here are the key Early Literacy Initiative partnerships.